Hey guys, I'm going to talk some more about um, what I was discussing yesterday about a radical invitation, living a radical life. That I sort of feel like at this point in my life, it's time to make that radical shift of completely surrendering to the extent, I say completely, and then I immediately offer a uh, qualification to the best that I'm capable of. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure life is going to show me. So the um, the surrender, the radical invitation, is for me the refusal. Speaking of invitations, the refusal to accept other people's invitation to live a life on the terms of separation, on the terms of that there are things that can't be forgiven, that there are things that can't be perceived otherwise, that we have to wake up every morning to a world that doesn't seem to care about us. That we wake up in the morning and we perceive a world where it's okay for some children to eat and others not to. It's just luck of the draw. And we wish things could be different, but hey, what can you do? And that's a good question, because what can we do? What can I do? Um, I'm struggling myself to get by. I'm certainly not poor, and I have wonderful support. But there's some. I'm at a turning point in my life in that regard. Financially, we'll see how things go. But that's not the point. The point is that there is something I can do, and there's something you can do, and that is to change how we perceive the world. And we can only do that through the process of forgiveness. Maybe it's even better said that it's not a process. Through the actualization of forgiveness in each and every moment that it's presented to us, that we forgive and we forgive and we forgive, and what we're forgiving isn't other people. We're not even forgiving ourselves. We are forgiving our false perceptions. We are forgiving that we have believed ourselves to be small, separate, and limited. So small and separate and limited that we hold grievances against other people, that we hold resentments, and that we justify. They did this to me. So I am justified in how I treat them. I am justified in how I hold grievances against them until I want them to think that I'm a bigger person, and then I will forgive them. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is the recognition that we all share the original innocence, all of us, and that we all struggle, and that we are all perceiving the world through the illusion of fear. So that's what we're forgiving. We are forgiving the illusion, because if they weren't seeing the world through that illusion of fear, man, they would see their own loveliness, their own beauty, their own perfection, their own grace, as would we. And we would see them in that beauty and loveliness and grace. But we don't. We see them through the lens of grievances. And so there they are. That's what we forgive. We're not saying, it's okay that you did this. I'll overlook it this once, maybe twice, but never let it happen again. We're not saying that I forgive you for your wrongdoings. We're saying, I forgive you and I forgive me for seeing the world through the illusion of grievances. And that's where the miracles happen. And that's what we're asking for. Whoever we pray, to Tao, God, Jesus, Krishna, we say, I think there's a better way to perceive the world. I know there's a better way to perceive the world. However, I don't see it. I don't see it myself right now. Please help me. Please help me realize that there's an entirely different way of viewing the world, because I want to see the world that way. I no longer wish to hold grievances. I no longer wish to judge. I no longer wish to deem others guilty for behavior that I'm no better than. Maybe differently, but truly no better than, at least in my case. So that's what I feel called to do. And of course, in theory, I have for a long time. For whatever reason. Recently, I have just, it's like back up against the wall. Who was it? What was the general who brought ships to the shore? Maybe it was Carthage. And he ordered the ships burned, which of course concerned the men, because if we retreat, how do we escape? And he said, exactly, there is no escape, the wisdom of no escape. So I'm putting my back up against the wall and I'm saying, this is it. I don't want to be invited to the party of the world. I don't want to be invited to the party of grievances and the celebration of pettiness, the mean-spiritedness that we so often see, not in everyone, but it's present. We can see it. We can see it throughout the world. And pettiness is kind of kind when we think about some of the truly horrific conflicts that are going on. Again, I don't want to wake up the world to which it is okay for any child to go hungry, for anybody to go hungry or without a home. But again, going back to just me, what can I do? I can change how I see the world. And I can just keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. And the world becomes different, at least in my little corner. And maybe collectively. And maybe we all wake up from this dream, the illusion that this is the way things are supposed to be. And the world changes, and it can happen instantly. Instantly. Just like when we wake up from a dream. All of a sudden, our eyes are open. And we are no longer the dream characters. We are in what seems like reality. However, this is just another dream. We wake from a dream to a dream, and the Great Awakening still awakes, but it's going to happen. I'm banking on it for each and every one of us. But my intent is to make this moment mine and to make that radical shift. I don't know if I can. I think inevitably, sorry, I'm patting myself on my back for correctly saying that word. I'm not going to try it again. I almost did. But I think that we can. I think we're called to do it. It feels like this is a time for many of us to do it. We'll see. All I know is I'm sure life is going to present me great opportunities to practice that forgiveness. And I'm sure that I'm going to fail many times. But you know what? I'm going to be thankful for each one of those opportunities to keep getting it. That's it, guys. Thanks. Take care.